Hello! Today we're going to give you 6 pro tips of how to make the easiest donuts, no mess, easy, delicious donuts. I'm Bracha Shore with Sweet and Good Catering. One of my biggest pro tips is Rhodes dinner rolls. You can get these in the frozen section in many supermarkets. Walmart, 7 Mile, Save-A-Lot, and what you're looking for is small dinner rolls. They're frozen. You take these rolls and you defrost them. So I took this roll right out of the bag and now it's defrosted. It hasn't risen yet. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to make some stuffed donuts. I'm going to take a Snickers bar, and then because this is too long, I'm going to squeeze it into a circle. And then you have a whole bunch where you can then put the Snickers bar in the middle of the dough. And then what you want to do is squeeze the dough closed. You have to make sure it's really, really closed, or else it'll open while frying, and then you'll have a Snickers mess. Then you put it back down and let it continue to rise. Meanwhile, you'll have your hot oil on. It takes about 4 to 8 quarts of oil. You just want enough oil that'll cover the donut halfway, and you'll flip it in the middle. So you don't need a deep fryer. It makes it so much more simple. So then I'm going to let this continue to rise. It takes about 2 hours to defrost the dough. If you don't have that time, you can throw it into a 200-degree oven, and that will speed the whole process. Once it's defrosted and you fill it, you could fill it with either Snickers. I have a Reese's peanut butter cup here. Oh, look, that one was already filled. Let's find one that's not filled. Is this one already filled too? We'll find out. It'll have a double Reese's peanut butter cup. Okay, so then you fill it, and then you let and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze so it doesn't open, and then you put it down to let it keep rising. Once you have your dough the way you want it, you can then take it. We got this pro tip from a very fun person, is you cut the parchment paper into squares. This way, when you grab the dough, it doesn't deflate. So now you just put the parchment paper and the dough in the oil and let it go. Another pro tip is I use these chopsticks. So they're big and long, and what you do is the paper comes off by itself, and then you take the paper out, and then you let the dough continue. The chopsticks let you roll the dough nice and easily in the oil. So you let it keep cooking. I'm gonna lower it. You wanna be at 340 degrees. At 340 degrees, you cook the dough without burning the outside, and then it won't be doughy on the inside, and we'll keep turning it until it's finished. We'll let it sit there, and then we can put more in as we're going. And then once the dough is cooked, we can then stuff it. If we didn't pre-stuff it, and this one's not pre-stuffed and this one is, so the not pre-stuffed one we can then stuff with our own fun things. So we'll go and we'll take one of these, and then we're going to stuff this with caramel. Another pro tip, condensed milk. You can take a can of condensed milk, put it into boiling water, let it sit there for 2 to 4 hours. Then you take it out of the boiling water and you open the can, and here, this was after 2 hours. If you keep it in for 4 hours, it'll be a nice darker caramel color. But here you have your own homemade caramel. Again, no mess, all in the can. Then we took that caramel and put it into a Ziploc bag. At the end of the Ziploc bag, I put about 6 pieces of Scotch tape. Oh my gosh, my friends tell me I get distracted. So here, I'm going to roll these donuts over so they don't burn. So then I put a hole with my pro tip chopstick. You can put a hole into your donut, and then take your Ziploc bag that has been reinforced. So what you're basically doing is making your own piping bag, a nice strong piping bag. Take this here, wait, I'm going to lift this all a little bit more. I'm going to use my pinky so that it can fit in, and squeeze as much caramel in. I don't care about those people saying, "I'll just put a teaspoon." No way! I want caramel in every bite of this donut. I want to taste it the first bite and the last bite and every single bite. Ah, someone's calling to find out what we're doing. So then you'll have caramel. Then you take this, if you want chocolate on top, you can then take 2 tablespoons of milk, about a quarter cup of chocolate chips, Put it in the microwave for about 25 seconds. Stir. Super easy, no mess. And then you have gorgeous ganache that goes on top. Similarly, here we have a plate full. Similarly, you can do the same with milk and a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. So now you take your donut, you swish it in your glaze, and now you have a glazed donut. Super easy, no mess. Of course, my friend Yedida tells me that I should use a bigger bowl so that it doesn't make a mess, but I only wanted to use one bowl. So then, there you have super easy donuts. Try not to leave your donuts in the hot oil. I do that all the time. I'm going to bring this back over so the oil doesn't drip. But with these chopsticks, then the oil can drip right off. And I try to get as much oil to come off as possible so that I'm not eating that oil. Oh, I just dropped some chocolate in there. That'll be delicious. Here you go, your easy, super easy sufganiyot. Enjoy for Chanukah.